But speaking with new people, we did cover this a couple weeks ago. It was the story of the sporting world, but there are some updates, and I just want to cover some of the headlines since we last recorded an episode. Um, about to six signing. This is from the owner. I believe it was from Jose Mas himself.
Jorge Ma.
Or was it Jorge? Okay,
Jorge.
Jorge.
I think Jose doesn't really speak.
Yeah.
He's like,
So Jorge spoke with Miami Herald, and 5 to 6 signings are expected. We know that Messi and Busquets are all but confirmed. Alba is most likely going to be the other one, although that one isn't as solid as Busquets. So definitely want to talk about who else we're going to sign. But before we talk about that, I do want to mention that they're also announcing that they will be remaining at Drive Pink Stadium. They will not be going to the Hard Rock. And to help, they will be filling in the empty corners, which would add about 3,000 seats. And then there's another topic to talk about before we move on, but I'll bring that up in a minute. So I'll pass this over to you because for me, I'm stumped. Like I don't really have any other um, options because I don't know where the money is going. I don't know what's going to be left. So if they're saying 5 to 6 signings expected, and let's just assume Alba is going to be the third. So we got Messi, Busquets, Alba coming to Miami. Who are the other 1 or 2 players that you want to sign?
man, I hate I know I need to ask this, but I hate the Busquets. I cannot stay. I've been so anti Busquets
Me too.
for literally a year. As somebody who is a Barcelona fan or watches Barcelona play, the guy cannot keep up, even in La Liga. And La Liga is not even so much of an athletic league as MLS. MLS, yes, La Liga is way more technical, way more skillful. It is a higher level league without a shadow of a doubt. But when it comes to the physicality and the athleticism that's in MLS, it's just much higher. And we've heard it from even someone like Ricky Puig, who came from Barcelona, played in La Liga, and went up those academy ranks. He said that he runs like a couple kilometers more per game.
Yeah,
And you're
yeah.
you're in a league in MLS that is a very transition heavy league. Everybody's playing right off the
That's
transition
why
full
I
speed. And
never
so
just
you
wanted
ask,
Busquets. I never just wanted Busquets before you finish that thought. I hate to interrupt, but I always said that Busquets, I would only take him on the team if you bring him in with these people who he can actually just kind of do something and not have to be the guy that has to run around. So yes, I'm anti Busquets. I think he's old. I don't think he's going to be he doesn't nearly have the physicality to handle this league and where it's going right now. But I'm not gonna cry about it because I think that as long as the signings are right and the structure around it's right, then he can actually just kind of play an anchor, almost like a fifth center back who lays the ball off to or not a fifth center back, but the center defensive, just kind of playing right in front of those
yeah,
two center backs as like the anchor. Um, that's where I'd kind of expect it. But
yeah. I
like I
mean,
said,
I
I don't
guess
like
I just look
Busquets,
at all
but
these other guys that
they
came
need
in
to
at
get
that position.
people who can run for him.
Dude, look at I don't even because look at the guys at that position. Perlo, when he came to New York
Mhm.
City, the dude cannot keep up at all. Who else? Matuidi couldn't
That was
keep
a
up at
waste.
all. Um, oh man, why am I drawing a blank? Blank.
I mean,
Lampard. Like, I mean,
I don't know if he came, but
no, he
but
definitely came, but like, regardless, it's like we've seen in MLS these guys come in. It's just that position requires you to be like this destroyer who can go up and down. So, but we'll move on from that. But like, as for the Alba thing, I'm a little bit more on the Alba train. He's better. He still has a little bit left. He's playing at a high level. He just
yeah, I
won the
think he's
Nations
got a
League
lot.
with Spain over there over the past week. He played decent in Barcelona this past season, albeit he had injuries. World Cup, he's all right. He's been all right at the highest level. So I think here he's going to play pretty well. And I think having Messi here, we're not going to require our fullbacks to be so far forward like we've been seeing recently in this past season with Franco Negri running so far up
Yeah,
the pitch.
yeah.
And it does kind of suck because I feel like we're wasting so much money in a position we already kind of have. Even though I don't think Franco Negri is the best left back, I'm actually kind of curious to see how well he actually
Yeah,
is
I don't think
over these
I've
past
never
couple of
thought
games
Negri was the best either,
defensively.
especially comparing him to Alba. But I actually thought that was where he gave us the most attacking. And I was like, yes, I know we have defensive problems, but I mean, he was someone who always gave full effort. He was always looking to push the envelope, take
Well,
on
that was the thing I
defenders,
was
get the ball in the box. So yes, he was very attacking, and that left us vulnerable. But I mean, we needed attacking players like that, you
Well,
know?
that's what I was going to say. That's why I'm wondering, like, how much of that was actually him and his play style, or if that's what Phil was asking for him. Because Phil was asking the same thing from Yedlin last year, and even a little bit this year. Like
Yeah, it's
Phil liked
probably a
those
little
attacking
both. I
fullbacks.
think
So I
Negri,
don't know
the way Negri's playing and the way you can see the way he goes forward,
his
it's
visions,
natural
his
for him.
runs.
It's
Yeah.
natural for him. He does like to. He's an attack. He likes to push the envelope and play attacking. But I think it was definitely a little bit of both because of what you said. Him telling Yedlin to do that in the prior season and a little bit this season. So I think it's definitely a little bit of both. Um, but hey, Phil's not around anymore, so
Yeah.
didn't that's not going to be the thing.
So 5 and 6, I think they're going to work their magic and get Alba on a TAM deal. I think they're
Yeah,
going to
'cause I'm
get that
hearing
done because I
Busquets, yeah,
thought
Messi, Busquets,
it's
DP,
going to be a
because we're
DP, which
hearing
is a
that
shame.
DP, yeah, which
I
it is
already
a shame.
didn't want. I didn't even want Busquets in the first place, but I would have been
Yeah,
okay if he
I
was a
was
TAM.
hoping,
But
yeah, I
now
was
he's going to
hoping that's
be a
what it was gonna be.
DP. That makes it even worse. But I think they're going to work their magic, try to get him on a TAM. I think you have to because from what I'm hearing, Pizarro is definitely gone. You can buy down Gregory, but you can buy down Campana, but I guess that whole system and the mechanisms around MLS, it's a little bit more difficult, I guess, than what people are than it is to just pay him. I guess there's something to it. I don't, these rules in MLS are crazy and weird, and hopefully we see a
Yeah,
change in the
oh,
offseason with
yeah,
with Messi coming, which I think we will. And that could be a debate for another day. But
definitely.
as for the other two players, they're definitely going to be midfielders, for sure. I think you're going to get another defensive midfielder. I think the goal is you want to
What
get.
about a winger? Is there a winger
I
that
don't think
stands out?
so.
Because I think we could
I
use
don't.
someone.
I don't think we're gonna play through the wing. I just don't see that we're
Well,
us
I
playing
don't
through the wing.
necessarily need we need to play through the wing. I mean, like an example in Football Manager, I don't play with wingers, even though I have wingers. I play them either as an inverted winger or as an inside forward, which is what I like. And I've been talking to one of my friends who has coaching badges and coaches for academies. And I say, one of my things that I hated about Inter Miami and about Phil Ball is that he would play too much through the wings to the point where
Without
if you
wingers, actually,
are
which is
you
the weird thing.
are you familiar with the
You did it
term
with fullbacks.
the half space?
Yeah, yeah.
So like I would just get absolutely furious because what I would notice is that like absolutely nobody is attacking the half space, and in my opinion, tactically and how I was brought, I think the half spaces are the most dangerous spots. Once you get into the half space, then then the defenders start feeling the pressure. That's the beginning of okay, who you got to make decisions about marking. Okay, you need to push up because people you got skill can just shoot from there. You've seen it time and
Well,
time
and
again,
we've
and
seen
we've
that,
never
and I
played
think.
the half spaces, and
Well, I
and
think.
I hated it. I just hated it.
I think one player that does do it, and I think you agree with me when I say it, and they've kind of done it a little, and I think he succeeded the most, especially on the right side, is Robert Taylor.
He's the
Robert
only one.
Taylor does
He is the only
he
one.
occupates
Absolutely agree.
he doesn't go super wide because usually
He
Yedlin's
can to
behind him,
receive the
especially.
ball. Like if
Well,
they're
usually
give
Yedlin's
him the
behind
ball,
him,
yes.
and when
No,
he's
I
had his
totally agree.
beautiful skill moves, and I noticed when Phil was playing, we would do a 4-4-2 with the diamond, and if he played the edge of the diamond, the right side of the diamond, he kind of played this flex like central midfield to like wing because you know what I'm saying. So like the diamond, so the two edges of the diamond kind of went out like that, and like when we had Pizarro on one side and Robert Taylor on that side when we're running the diamond, they would kind of do like a diagonal. They wouldn't stay in a straight diamond almost. And so Robert Taylor kind of had that flexibility to play that half
Yeah.
space while Yedlin came in.
And when he
So
would play the
I
half
just don't think we're
spaces and
playing.
use his skill, it would create some brilliant goals either for him or someone else. You know, like they were some plenty of goals that I can remember that are just like that's what I want to see. So I think that'll come with the personnel change, with the coaching change that's expected. Um, I do agree
It's
they're definitely going to go for
potential,
midfielders.
potentially. I guess I think the big thing is if Tata Martino's the coach, which it sounds like he is. Tata
Mhm.
likes to run a 4-2-3-1. I guess my problem is I think I know man, I think they're going to run one striker. I guess my only thing is we
I'm
have
okay
so
with
many
that. It
strikers.
depends on
We
the
have so many
fluidity.
strikers.
If it's a fluid
It's
4-2-3-1, I think it's okay because for Tata, you would have Busquets as your anchor. You'd have whoever's next to him as the box
probably
to box.
Arroyo if he's healthy or a new guy.
Yeah, box to box, more of a box to box. I think is necessary.
Like an eight,
Um,
like a true
and I
eight.
don't mind
I
having the
think that's
one
what it's
side,
gonna
and I don't
be.
have mind having the one striker because let's say if you have Messi as the 10, I think he's fluid enough to fill those spaces, um, and the formation will be fluid enough so that it won't seem, let's put it like this, having the one striker formations of Phil Neville. It won't feel like that at all. I don't think.
I guess for me, it's tough to see those other two players because I think one has to be an eight. You have to get another eight. I think Busquets and Arroyo, as of right now, are your 1 and 2 sixes because Busquets is not going to run a full 90. Let's be real, especially in this heat, he's not running a full 90.
It's fucking
So
Jesus
Arroyo is going to
Christ,
be his
yeah.
bat.
People are forgetting that. For those of you who
The
are
heat,
who are
yeah,
listening and
it's
it's
fucking
not just hot.
miserable
It's not.
outside.
I know you're thinking, "Oh yeah, it's Florida, South Florida. It's hot." It's been you guys have no idea. Like I went a couple weeks ago for a work trip to Minneapolis, and they were telling me they were like, "Oh my God, it's so funny that the Florida guys are coming here because it's the hottest it's been all year." And I look at the weather on the phone, and it's like 82, feels like 84, and I'm like, "Are you joking me right now? You don't want to come and deal with this heat. We've had
Dude,
when you
I
give we've had
just
heat wave
walked my
indexes. If you give South, they don't just give South Florida a heat index for nothing because we can handle that shit. They give it to us when it's ridiculous, and it's been like that for a week now, if
It's
not
been
more.
very
It
bad,
has been
especially this week.
been
I
really bad,
I walked
and
my
the
dog
summer, yeah.
before
So it
doing
might,
this show,
yeah,
and I was out there for literally maybe 5 minutes, and I'm, like, already about to drench, so I had to go rinse my face.
yeah.
It's so fucking thick.
They do mandatory water breaks in here during the summer.
So, I think you're having Arroyo who's gonna be that backup. I think you're gonna get a true 8 because with Mata out, you don't really all you have is academy kids. And if you're going to make a comeback and play with Messi, you got to get a true 8 in there. So I think we're going to find an 8 somewhere in South America, someone you never heard of. Most likely who's going to
Which
be in
is,
their
I mean,
prime and probably
which is
pretty
fine.
good.
I like
If you can
that.
get
I like,
another
yeah.
Mota, if you can get another Mota, Mota and Gregory are probably the most underrated duo midfielders in the league. They're very solid, very good.
I
And
do.
it's and they're very
I do
underrated. It's not
agree.
talked about enough, mostly because we suck. And now with
And
them injured,
because they've been
especially worse.
injured, so yeah.
So I think regardless, you're going to get an 8. You're probably going to keep them, and I think Motep could be a great backup behind them. And I guess it's really dependent on how Tata envisions playing Messi. Is he going to play Messi as an inverted winger? Because if he's going to play him as an inverted winger and play him on the left side like he's done a lot in his past, or is he going to play him like he did in the most recent time at PSG as a 10 with two strikers in front of him, like they did with Mbappe? And I'm drawing a blank on the other guy, but like that's how they ran it. Towards the end of the PSG season, he was a 10 behind two strikers. So I guess it depends how they see him. Are they going to play him on the wing or play him at 10? I think in this league, it requires wingers to go up and down. So I think they're going to play him as a 10. And with them playing as a 10, I even though it's not Tata's forte, something's telling me he's gonna want Campana and Joseph on this field at the same time. I just feel as somebody he's familiar with Joseph. He understands what Joseph can be if he has a true 10 behind him, like Almiron before he went off to Newcastle. He was the biggest transfer in MLS history, and he was the main person feeding Joseph. And Joseph had
Yeah,
that record year. And now you're giving Joseph Messi behind him. I can't envision Tata not at least seeing what Joseph has with Messi behind him, because even though
I
people
agree.
want to say Joseph hasn't been that good,
And
Joseph
Tata has
our
experience with that
midfield
too.
has been terrible. Our midfield has been god awful due to
That's
injuries.
the
We had
issue.
never had a 10. So it's like I can't really evaluate Joseph and Campana if they've only getting like 15 touches a game.
And the
So
closest we've had to a 10 was Pozuelo, and that was the best period of our club's history.
look, I'm in the
And we've
ballpark.
always talked about that. Bring him back.
If you could
Bring
bring
him
him
back.
back,
Bring
I would
him
love it.
back. His
I
baby
would
mama
I
lives
would
here.
I would love it.
He
Here's my
loves it
dream,
here. He
and
wanted to
I
stay.
don't here's my dream, and I don't think it's gonna happen. But hear me out. I think we run a 4-2-2-2, which we done at times, and what I thought this team should have been playing from the beginning. You get Busquets, you get another 8, whoever you get in the transfer market. In front of them, Messi, Pozuelo, and then up top, Campana, Joseph. And look, you're gonna get Pozuelo on a free. I really believe there's a reason why Pozuelo only did a 6-month deal. They worked really hard to make it work with him. I think they're gonna go for round two, seeing how it works out. And I don't think they're gonna get a DP. I think maybe they're gonna find a way to allocate some TAM money because people are gonna be leaving. Um, for sure. I know
Yeah.
obviously Pozuelo, obviously Pisado's gone. I don't know who else might leave. I wouldn't. Maybe you get rid of Negri. Maybe you feel like you can sell him higher than what you got for him if you're going to bring Alba in, because you got a lot of left backs on this roster, and if you plan on bringing Alba, maybe you can move Negri and get some cash for him because he's played pretty decent in this league. I think another MLS team would pick him up. You could probably get some allocation money. So I would love to see that, but I think it's to me. Even though it goes against Tata's DNA of having wingers and running a 4-2-3-1, I think with just the roster that we have, unless they do something major, I think we're going to run with a two striker setup some way
Yeah.
or another, unless they
Yeah.
move from Campana. And that's another thing, unless you move from Campana. But most likely, if you're going to like, I don't know, it's a real tricky situation because it's like
Yeah.
you have to
It's
take
one
into
of those
consideration
we got
how is
so many
Tata going
rumors
to
coming
do
out.
it, who else does Jorge Mas have in his like eyesight, and what pieces we already have on this team. So it's really tricky. So I'm in the ballpark. We're getting two more midfielders. One's going to be a DP. No, the both of them are going to be probably high TAM players. I think they're going to be no names. I think your big names are going to be Messi, Busquets, and Alba. And outside of
Yeah.
that, it's going to be
Yeah, that's what
some
it
young
appears.
cats from
That's what it
South
appears.
America, which I would
It,
love. I would love some young
yeah,
guys from
I
South
wouldn't mind
America.
that, and that seems to be the direction the club's leaning in. But I think there'll definitely be more to talk about as this develops. It's not even the transfer window doesn't officially open for MLS until beginning of
The
July,
fifth.
so